What up? What up? How's everyone doing tonight? I know who's doing very well tonight, and that is Kyle Rittenhouse. Man, that's crazy. I can't imagine what that kid was going through as they were reading the verdict. Can you imagine what he was thinking in his head? And then I started thinking, like, what two extremes you possibly could have. He was either facing life in prison or complete freedom and exoneration of his actions. There was no middle ground. It wasn't like, oh, maybe 10 years, oh, 5 years. It was just straight up life in prison or freedom. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. Anyway, I'm going to try to pull up the reaction live on from Fox, because it was pretty epic watching Kyle learn of his innocence. So let's add this to stream. Add to stream. All right.
To the streets in determined struggle, but it also showed that. And
here we go. Here we go.
Confirms it that this
courthouse earlier today.
The defendant will rise to face the jury and hearken to its verdicts.
State of Wisconsin versus Kyle Rittenhouse. As to the first count of the information, Joseph Rosenbaum. We, the jury, find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the second count of the information, Richard McGinnis. We, the jury, find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the third count of the information, unknown male. We, the jury, find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the fourth count of the information, Anthony Huber. We, the jury, find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the fifth count of the information, Gage Grosskreutz, we, the jury, find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty.
Members of the jury, are these your unanimous verdicts? Is there anyone who does not agree with the verdicts as read? Would you wish the jury polled? No. Okay. Okay, folks, your job is done, and we started just about 3 weeks ago. And I told you it could last 2 weeks and 2 days. This is 2 weeks. This is 3 weeks. You were a wonderful jury to work with. You were punctual. You were attentive. And the forgotten six over here who had a very difficult job of keeping from discussing the case during the time that they were sequestered as well. All of you, I couldn't have asked for a better jury to work with. And it has truly been my pleasure. I think, without commenting on your the verdicts themselves, just in terms of your the attentiveness and the cooperation that you gave to us, justifies the confidence that the founders of our country placed in you. So I dismiss you at this time. You're never under any obligation to discuss any aspect of this case with anyone. You're welcome to do so as little or as much as you want. The media have requested, a number of media sources have requested the ability to talk to you, and they have been allowed to present presentations to you that you'll get in writing. And it's entirely up to you whether you want to contact them. They are not to contact you. If anyone does contact you, and just tell them you're not interested in discussing it, if that's the case. And if anyone persists in doing so, report that to us and it will be addressed, I assure you. At the beginning of the trial, there was some concern about information and your safety. And I assure you that we will take every measure to ensure that that is, your concerns are addressed and respected. I'm going to talk to you for just a minute, not about anything to do with the case, but just about that sole issue. And you, as I say, you're welcome to discuss the case as little or as much as you want. Any questions, anybody? Thank you so much. And you're after 4 years, you're eligible for service again. It would be my pleasure to work with you. Thank you. Yeah, please.
So that's pretty powerful stuff. Like just think about what that kid was thinking as those verdicts were read. Pretty crazy. So after breaking news comes out, one thing I love doing is I love going to Twitter and seeing what the Twitter sphere says. For those of you who want to follow me there, my name on Twitter is Adam Francisco with an underscore because I couldn't get Adam Francisco. So you guys could follow me here, Adam Francisco. There's my stupid logo. There it is. Be free my sheep, Adam Francisco. You guys know my name. So you guys can go to Twitter to find me there if you guys want. I don't post too often. I probably post like once or twice a week, but it's definitely an interesting place to get like breaking news and stuff. And yeah, so add me there. I'm at 213 followers. I'd like to get to 1,000 at some point in my lifetime. I set the bar real low for myself. All right, let's go see what Twitter sphere is saying about Kyle Rittenhouse. Here we go. Don't forget about Lieutenant William Kelly, who was fired for donating $25 to the Kyle Rittenhouse Defense Fund. He served for 20 years as a police officer with Norfolk PD, didn't get a pension, and his wife had cancer. Yeah, the pretty. Let me see if I'm still online. Can you guys see me, or am I buffering? Okay, I'm back. The crazy part was, had anybody said Kyle was innocent, free Kyle, Instagram and Facebook basically blocking you. Like, for some reason, saying that was considered a bad thing, which is crazy to me. There you go, my trademark gum, guys. So the reality is, everybody who thought Kyle was innocent was 100% correct. And now, does Twitter and Facebook, do they retroactively go back and unban those people or take away the strikes? And that's the problem with censorship, is that a lot of times they censor you for things that end up ultimately being true. And the other example was COVID. When people said COVID was made in a lab, Facebook took your content down. They shadow banned you. And then they came out and said, we're going to allow people to make that claim from now on. It's absurd. It's ridiculous. And this is why America is broken. This is why big tech is broken. This is why censorship doesn't work, because you sometimes censor the truth. And that's not good. This is from one of my followers, SG, who I follow on Twitter. They show up on my feed. This is he's retweeting a guy named Dream Weasel. The MAGA right are hoping the Rittenhouse verdict will allow them to bring AR-15s to the next protest, which will presumably happen immediately following the Rittenhouse verdict. And then SG says, false propaganda stated about MAGA. I have witnessed plenty of live footage of protests, and the ones instigating violence are almost always on the left. The Antifa BLM crowd are the ones who burned down cities, pillaged, raped, and murdered people. They are anarchists. The only part there that you might have an issue with is raped, but that did happen in the Chad. There was reports of the Chad zone, women were being sexually assaulted because there were no police there. And so people were it was a free-for-all, which is terrible. This is Ian Miles Chung, who I love this guy so much. And here it says, CNN comes clean about Kyle Rittenhouse. Let's listen to this. Let's listen to this one together. This should be good.
saw fit. We learned a lot of things in this trial that we should sort of go over, and I was just kind of reviewing some of the things that we learned in the trial that were not necessarily public knowledge before that. One, there has been a lot of talk, especially by politicians, about where Rittenhouse was the night of this shooting, and it turned out he was already in Kenosha, that he had family here, including his father, that the gun was here in Kenosha. He did not bring that over state lines. It turned out during this trial that we learned.
I think I messed it up, guys. I don't know what happened. I think you guys are seeing a black screen. Hold on. I want to try to pull that back up again. I think it's my Wi-Fi, guys. When it rains in Mexico, it's like Wi-Fi goes to shit. Okay, where was that? Who was that I was just showing? I don't even know where it is. Let's see. Let's try to find it again. Oh, there you go. Chica Guapa. I don't think you guys could see this. Let me remove it. Let me try to add it again. Hold on. Let's re-add the stream. Share screen. Allow. Okay. Okay, there we go. We're back. I guess it was just a glitch in StreamYard. So here you go, guys. Chica Guapa saying it best. Self-defense is a human right. Kyle is free. Absolutely. Gun safety 101. Reminds you of like the Mel Gibson thing. I had on my Facebook the day that it happened. I wrote, breaking news, Alec Baldwin murdered someone. And so many liberals were so mad at me for my phrasing. It was an accident. He made a mistake, blah, blah, blah. And Tim Pool says it best. It's like, why are we assuming it was an, like, why is that the assumption? Like, why are we giving him the benefit of the doubt? You know, the reality is to shoot somebody and kill somebody with a single shot, just randomly, you got to aim it at the right part of their body. I mean, that's just, it's unlikely. You know what I'm saying? It's unlikely. So anyway, this prosecutor here is an idiot with this finger on the trigger like that. That's just stupid. Pointing it at the crowd. That's so dumb. That's so dumb. The system isn't broken. It was built that way. This is from Deneric Bird. Absolutely. Although I feel like he might be a leftist saying that. He might be saying that like white people get off easier. Yeah, he's a leftist. I read that completely wrong. As you guys could see here, he is fully vaccinated. I hope not buffering. So back to this guy, Deneric Bird. He is fully vaccinated. I wonder if that means he's got 3 doses or just 2. Because if it's 2, then he's not fully vaccinated anymore. 3. So then he's a military veteran. Thank you for the service, Derek. I'll say that. Thank you for the service. Great father, Alabama football, Roll Tide, Black Lives Matter, the resistance. That I don't get. Like, if you're on the left side of politics, you're not the resistance. Like, you are on the side of the corporations, the government, the media, big tech, education. So what exactly are you resisting? No, you're perpetuating. You are literally perpetuating the system. There's no resistance on the left. We, the Trump supporters, we're the resistance because we're the ones who are going to end up in the gulags, right? All right, let's see what else we got. The right. Kyle is innocent. He was just defending himself. The left. So this means Breonna Taylor's boyfriend is innocent. The right. Hold up. I see what they did there. See, the reason why that this meme is stupid, and this is why the left can't meme, is because from my understanding of the Breonna Taylor shooting, the police did announce themselves. Even though they had a no-knock warrant, they did announce themselves, and he fired at the police. Now, I believe the argument is that he didn't hear the police announce themselves, so he thought he was firing against an intruder. I guess, but they're completely different like situations. One is the police knocked on the door, tried to come in. You fired, so they fired back. And most likely, Breonna Taylor was unfortunately used as a human shield from everything that I've read. She wasn't sleeping in bed. That's another myth that the mainstream media perpetuated for so long. And the left and the liberals still believe it to this day. It's unbelievable. I was out last night with a liberal and from London. So she's not an American liberal. She's a London liberal. You guys saw her on my community page, the nachos girl. And she had heard that a police officer on J6th was killed with a fire extinguisher. Brian Sicknick, rest in peace. And I told her that story was proven false, and he died of a stroke the following day, natural causes. And she said, I never heard that. I literally thought that a Trump supporter killed him with a fire extinguisher. I said, that's the problem, is the mainstream media lies, just bold-faced lies, just makes up bullshit. Gets on the world 25 times, it becomes accepted as fact. Because remember, you repeat a lie enough, it becomes a fact. And then they never hear the correction. And that's why the media is completely broken and painting Trump supporters like me, for example, and most of you, probably all of you, in a bad light. Like, we're not unhinged lunatics. We're not white supremacists. We're not radicalized. We just want to support a president that puts America first and does so with his policies. There was a video that Biden from a few years ago where he literally says stuff like, America's not special. This is Joe Biden saying this. Our current president. How could you elect a man that thinks America's not special? I mean, that alone, to me, should automatically remove you as a candidate from the equation if you don't love this country. All right, let's go back to Twitter. Somehow I'm on liberal Twitter. I don't know how this happened. I mean, every post here has been liberal. Murder is legal now. Let's go. All you have to do is cry like a little bitch. That's what Andrew says. Let's see. What's Andrew about? He's got crappy content. Again, these liberals look at a segment of what happened. Kyle killed 2 people, but they don't take into account everything else that led up to that, which obviously now the jury has decided it was self-defense. We all knew that. He didn't murder anybody. He protected himself. God, these liberals are crazy. See. Biden gets an F. Oh, this profile should be fun. F Biden sounds just like Trump. Oh, wow. Wow, he flipped on Biden. This is a liberal who doesn't like Biden. President Biden on the Rittenhouse verdict today. I stand by what the jury has to say. The jury system works. You know what? I gotta say, Joe Biden. I agree. Bravo, Joe Biden. Bravo. That is a great quote, guys. I'm sorry. Joe Biden nailed it with that one. He's absolutely right. But this guy is obviously pissed at Joe Biden for saying that. This guy's happy. Definitely liberal. Okay, let's get back to the right wing of Twitter. Common sense. Tommy Lauren. Justice has been served. Not guilty. God is good. Yes, ma'am. Miranda Devine, thank God, justice beat mob rule. Exactly. I still think that, when we look back at the Derek Chauvin trial, I don't think Derek Chauvin had a fair trial. I don't think the jury, there was ever a chance for him to get a fair trial with that one, because that was really what spurned what created a lot of the global protests was the killing of George Floyd. So I can see why there was so much pressure to come up with a guilty verdict by any means, at any cost. But that's also not the way our justice system is supposed to work. You're not supposed to be pressured by the mob to go with a specific verdict. When we look at the facts of the case, there was no evidence that Derek Chauvin was a racist. And the same thing here. There's no evidence that Kyle Rittenhouse is a racist. They say that there was a picture of Kyle with the Proud Boys, and the Proud Boys, they say, are white supremacists. That's all a false narrative, as always. It's just lies. It's a house of cards of lies. That's what it is. And that's why I do this YouTube stuff, is because I want to help expose what I think is the truth, you know? And that's why I go out to try to get a pulse of the nation and interview people. Hot chicks, of course, usually, but that's why I really do go out and try to interview people, because I do want to hear what the average person on the street thinks. Because that's important, right? It's important to understand what the average person thinks, not just pundits or political commentators. Because people like us, we're very well informed into this world. So we simply just know more because we research, we actively look. But the average person that I meet in the street, they probably don't. They have very surface level knowledge of what's going on. So it's always very curious to see what they're thinking about these kind of things. Lawrence Laverne Spicer says it best. So wait, if Kyle Rittenhouse is a white supremacist and he shot other white people, then why is the Black Lives Matter so upset? You know, I guess the argument you could make here is the reason why they're so upset is because they believe in their head. If Kyle Rittenhouse was a black person or a black shooter, they believe he would have been killed that night by the police, or they believe had he gone to trial, he would have been found guilty and thrown away in prison. I'd like to think that if the same exact video happened, but Kyle was black, I would think the kid was innocent too. Why wouldn't I? If you're being attacked, regardless of skin color, you're a human being attacked by a mob, and you have the right to carry a gun and you use it to protect yourself, it doesn't matter what skin color you are. It doesn't matter. If anything, I believe that Black Lives Matter and other black Americans should look at this case from Kyle Rittenhouse and celebrate the fact that they too will have the right to defend themselves should they be attacked by a mob in the future. That's what this trial basically said. Americans do have the right to protect ourselves if we're being attacked. So I think BLM is looking at it the wrong way. The fact that Kyle may have killed or shot, whatever you want to call it, to BLM sympathizers. They were there allegedly on the side of the BLM protest, but a lot of those people we know were opportunists. They show up to cause a scene, to stir the pot. Some of them are paid provocateurs, and sometimes they're rioters and looters. They want free stuff. So we don't really know what was in their hearts in terms of the people that were killed. I don't think that their criminal records meant that they deserved to be killed, because during that day, that wasn't what it was about. It was their actions. And when you attack somebody, first of all, you don't bring a skateboard to a rifle fight, and you don't chase after somebody when they have a rifle. Like, Kyle was fleeing. Why would you chase the kid? Just let him flee. Because Kyle clearly was the more powerful person in that situation, because he had a very high, powerful weapon. So anyway, all right, let's keep going down Twitter. Let's see what we got here. They're claiming this is Kyle punching a girl in the head. The one thing you won't see at this trial, right-wing darling Kyle Rittenhouse punching a girl in the head weeks before he killed people at a protest. I don't know if this is actually Kyle.
Why you gonna be the bitch? I'm a pistol with his ass. Yeah, you gonna be the bitch.
Yeah, that's fake news. It's not even Kyle.
You gonna be the bitch.
That's not even Kyle. That's what Twitter does. They just make fake news. Liberal media just makes fake news all the time. These left-wingers are absolutely nuts. Can't believe I used to be a left-winger. That's crazy. Avatar loves resistors. None of us are surprised. And for the record, guys, I'm just doing a live Twitter stream. I am not looking. I'm not specifically looking up people's accounts. This is just literally the Kyle Rittenhouse hashtag and whatever's coming up. Oh, this is 2 ends. I'm on the wrong hashtag. Let's go to the right hashtag. Let's get out of there. Those people are misspelling it. I didn't even catch that. Okay, Kyle Rittenhouse Defense Fund. Self-defense is not only our right, it is our duty. Ronald Reagan. That is a great quote. And that is absolutely true. We have the right to defend ourselves not only as individuals, but as Americans, right? Candace Owens, sue them all, Kyle, every last one. And then she's got a dragon just going nuts. I'm going to retweet that. Retweet. Yeah. You know, that kid, The Covington kid, what was his name? Who sued CNN? He got like $25 million, whatever. It was $100 million. I don't even know what he got. I think Kyle's going to get a lot of freaking money out of this, not only from the lawsuits, from suing these people for defaming him, probably get book deals. I don't know if there's going to be movies because he's and um, writers have movies made. I'm just quick. Hold on. Okay, we're back. I don't know if they're going to allow him to about. I mean, maybe Ben Shapiro will, because he's got a studio. Maybe he can make the, but I don't think us Wi-Fi. Let me know if you guys are here now. I got to make sure that I'm live. I don't know what's going on, guys. Again, it's probably because it's raining in Mexico where I'm at. All right, I have my YouTube set up on my iPhone now, so I can see if I'm buffering or not. All right, back to Twitter. For anyone watching the undeniable, here are some posts I saved back when I first defined use of it. So this is the police report for Joseph Rosenbaum, which is one of the and for yourself. Let's just say the not person, any, which is just it's terrible stuff. This guy too had a pretty low record, which I think is kind of crazy. And then even Gage Grosskreutz, he too had a criminal record. So the bottom line is, none of these people were good people. But again, it's not why they got into trouble that day. Their criminal histories are irrelevant. It was just their actions that day that led to it. So here's Renzo, guys. He is one of our favorite commies on my channel. And he is right. The judge was a huge Trumper. And, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because most of the establishments are Bideners, if you want to call that, or liberals or leftists. So I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Regardless of that, okay, Renzo, it depends on what crime you've committed. Okay. If you are in poverty and you're on desperate times and you might have stolen something from a store, I'll agree with you that your criminal record doesn't make you a bad person. Okay. But if you have repeatedly sexually abused children, defenseless children, that kind of criminal record does make you a bad person. And there's no question about that. There's no question about that. Hey guys, I'm back. You guys see me? You guys see me? Testing, testing, testing. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Oh yeah, this Wi-Fi is garbage. Next to my Airbnb, I'm gonna. All right. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna hop off because this Wi-Fi is just not very good. So I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again for watching and tuning in. I'll talk to you guys soon. Be free, my sheep.